after 30 or 60 or 90 days, these folks are beginning to realize that they can live a life, it's going to be hard, but live a life free of drugs. Sometimes for the first time they realize that. That is beautiful. And we use that in order to kind of encourage them farther down the line.
Sure.
It's amazing. So the first part of the program is very intensive, first 30, 60, 90 days. That part is when you got a lot of successes, a lot of failures. After that, the mid portion of the program, the middle 4 months, they're essentially just in maintenance. You've got them coming every week. They're beginning to help the other people. At that point, in this middle period, we try to, with each person, figure out something that will benefit them. I'll give you an example. Some folks don't have sober housing, so we find a way to get them out of the place they're at and into a sober house. Some people don't have job skills. We hook up with Medina Works and other job skill programs so that we can kind of hook up their sobriety with something that's positive. Some people don't have their driver's license because they've had so many problems in the past. We work with them to figure out a way so that they can get their driver's license back, so they can get back to work to begin to do the kinds of things to make a clean and sober life. In other words, we try to pick something that is a positive for them and work with them on that particular issue so we can bind that up with their sobriety so they begin to think, wow, something good came of this. Not only am I sober, but look, I got a job, or I've got a place where I can live with my kids and things are okay.
They would have never, I mean, I guess maybe one way of, the way you're explaining this and versus reading it, I mean, you put the face and put the human behind it and your commitment to this, I mean, obviously. But this is work, what I guess we would call work in progress.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guy went from, well, as
a mess.
The first 3 months. I mean, once you got him past that, he's going to maybe start interested in getting his driver's license back or whatnot.
Exactly right.
Where if under the old system, or if he just caught in the system, he'll never break that chain.
He'll never get it. He'll never get it. He just won't. And that's
you'll see him over and over and keep sending him away for...
Exactly. Well, and here's what happens. You send back the first time for 3 or 4 days, send back the next time for a week, maybe 2 weeks the next time, and then 30 days, and then finally my jail's done with him. I have to send him to prison. I'm sending a drug addict, and not that that's not always the right thing. I mean, sometimes it is. Prison space and jail space is a precious commodity.
Sure.
And even in Medina County, we got burglars and robbers and rapists and drug traffickers. That's why they build these places.
Sure.
I'm not certain that a low-level drug addict, that's the best place. Sometimes they need the time to spend there to realize that this isn't where they want to be. And I understand that. But I'm thinking the cycling around and around and around again doesn't make any sense at all. After their 4-month maintenance period, we use them for the last 4 months to bootstrap the first guys through. And we hook them up. And they begin to feel very responsible for this person that they've got hooked up with.
That's the first time that ever happened.
Really important. And you're giving them responsibility. And you're saying, and as we say to them when they get to this point, proud of you. Proud of you. This is a very difficult thing you've done. You've got a lot more work to do, not only here in drug court, but in your life. But this sense that they're making some accomplishment past just using, past just failing, seems to give them some impetus to be able to continue on. And I have to tell you, in the end, these are our brothers and our sisters.
Sure.
These are our brothers and our sisters. These are our neighbors. These are the people who live here, right? This drug and alcohol addiction is by far the biggest problem that I face in my criminal court. By far. 80% of the cases in front of me are drug and alcohol cases. So if you can take this big chunk of people, the drug and alcohol, people with addictions with drug and alcohol, and begin to give them some alternative to the same grind, the same system, which frankly hasn't succeeded.
Sure.
You got a shot, and it's exciting. It's really fun.
You're known as a tough judge. Please take it as a compliment.
All right.
Okay. You're known as a tough judge. But in the case of your drug court, you offer defendants an alternative to jail. Now, my question is why, but I think you've already answered that.
Let me tell you,
I mean, the tough judge, we know you as a tough judge.
Let me tell you what it works, how it works, and how I think it works. It's the crime that is the problem. It's the fact that you and I and all people who are watching here on your show, they live in their house and they want to be safe and secure in their house. When they drive down the road, they want to make sure the guy that's just 8 inches of paint away from them isn't high or drunk and cross the center line.
Right.
They want to live in a community where they don't have to worry about their cars being broken into or their houses being broken into. And I am telling you, the engine that drives that kind of crime, the automobile accidents as a result of substance abuse and alcohol, the breaking and enterings, the burglaries, the home burglaries. These aren't people coming in stealing your stuff because they want your VCR or they want your television set because they want a television set. They're breaking into your house or they're breaking into your outbuilding or they're breaking into your car because they want to steal things that they'll drive immediately to Akron or to Cleveland and turn over for drugs. Crack cocaine, methamphetamine.
So there's the connection right there.
And if I can break that cycle where this person doesn't have this addiction, then all of the people who would be victims of that crime are safe. Not only the defendant, but the people in his neighborhood, his wife, his kids.
Sure.
Can you imagine if you're a child and your dad's a drug addict or an alcoholic, and the difference between that and if you're a child and your dad is clean and sober,
sure,
and you've seen it, that is a remarkable thing. And if you can make that change, you're not just affecting him, you're affecting everybody around him. It's huge.
You say 2005, you got this.
Got started.
Okay, do you have any stats?
Yeah. We're 48% of the people who come in, and Christine told me this morning before I came, she goes, remember this, 48% of the people who come in successfully complete the program. That means 52 don't. That means 52% don't. And when I thought about that initially, I knew that those statistics are tough. But 48 is a good percentage to successfully complete this program. These are people who haven't used, who have been using for years and who have been successfully completing the program and their cases dismissed. But even the ones who fail, and I want you to think of it, or I want you to try to think of it this way. We have shown them a path to sobriety, to live in a clean life. They know how to do it. They've stumbled. They've failed. They maybe have moved back into the system, maybe placed on probation, maybe they're found guilty. But when they're ready, they'll know the tools to pick up to be able to get to sobriety. They'll know how to pick up those tools. And so I used to think that I wanted every single one of them to succeed on my time. But it's not my time. Things aren't done in my time.
But when we look at
sometimes you just got to plant a seed.
Yeah, but we look at it's 4 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're saying over the 4-year period, we're looking at 48.
40%.
48%.
Yes.
So, well, Judge, I don't know what to tell you. Congratulations.
I'm happy with it.
Well, you're obviously excited about it.
It's a great program. Very excited about it. And committed to it. This is what we're going to do. This is lots of other things can change, but Wednesdays are my drug court day. You're going to remain that until I'm not doing this job anymore. This is what I want to do. Very exciting.
Is it an open courtroom?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can come there.
Yep.
Just like any other. I've sat in your courtroom lots of times, but
Absolutely,
on Wednesday, and you can hear what these folks have to say.
Yes.
I mean, that's part of the deal.
Just walk. Absolutely. They know what they are, and they know what they're facing. And that's another thing, too. We operate in the open. I'm an addict. They operate in the open. They know they're responsible to their community and that they've got to make amends, and that's what they're doing. That's not bad at all. That's a good thing. So they can stand proudly and talk to you and say, that's what I used to be, this is what I am now.
Well, Judge, I'd like to thank you for being our guest today on Law Talk, and I'd also like to put the invitation out to you to come back again. We'd like to maybe visit this again and see how we're doing with it. Obviously, you're into this for the long term, and it's very important. To our viewers, you can view this episode of Law Talk. Go to www.CZ-CLEP.org. I am John Celebrezze, and I thank you for tuning in to Law Talk.
To keep up on Medina County and other legal issues, go to www.CZCourtReporter.com, a function of the Celebrezze Zanghi Community Legal Education Project. At CZ-CLEP, we're devoted to the education of today's legal issues. Fueled by the public's keen interest in our legal system and current events, CZ-CLEP is dedicated to the educational venues aimed at enhancing the understanding by all citizens. For a complete listing of dates and times for this telecast, tune in to WCTV Channel 15 or log on to wadsworthcity.com and follow the links to WCTV.
I'm John Celebrezze. Please join me in getting a better understanding of the law.